नमस्ते गुरुजी। जय गुरुजी महाराज। जय गुरुजी साथ संगत जी। शुक्राना गुरुजी महाराज का मल्टीलिंगुअल सेवादार टीम की तरफ से आप सबका हार्दिक स्वागत है। आज एक बार फिर मल्टीलिंगुअल टीम एक मेमोरेबल सेशन शुरू करने जा रहा है, जिसमें तू ही तो डिवाइन बुक जो कि पूजा कपूर आंटी जी ने लिखी है, इसकी रीडिंग पूजा कपूर आंटी जी करेंगी। इससे पहले कि मैं ज्यादा ना बोलते हुए मैं ओवर टू यू पूजा सुखू आंटी।
जय गुरु जी संगत जी। थैंक यू सो मच सुरेश अंकल जी ये मौका देने का। मैं तहे दिल से स्वागत करना चाहूंगी अनीता कुमार आंटी जी का और आरती कपूर आंटी जी का। ये गुरु जी की ब्लेस्ड और प्यारी प्यारी संगत है। अनीता कुमार आंटी जी has written the preface of this book, Tu Hi Tu, and Aarti Kapur Aunty has authored the book. So without further ado, I would like to request Anita Aunty to introduce the book to our Sangat Parivar. A very warm welcome, Anita Aunty and Aarti Kapur Aunty ji. Over to you, Anita Aunty.
Ji,
What a
thank
surprise.
Thank you for
Jai
having me on
Guruji.
this.
Jai Guruji.
Aarti, congratulations on this book, Tu Hi Tu. It's beautiful. I've read it cover to cover. And thank you for choosing me to write the foreword. So without further ado, I will start reading the foreword. So at first glance, my heart was reassured of having arrived at its natural home, and my soul gloated with pride in having done so. As Guruji stated, Guruan da naam kharab hai. Sangat back then was few and far between, and the rest were filled with cynicism and skepticism. Those encompassing my life and those who are in the heart of it almost estranged me, believing me to have lost the plot. Trust me when I say this, I truly felt alienated when I used to come to Guruji initially. It was his infinite grace and divine love that gave me the realization that I had arrived. Where we stand depends on where we sit. Sitting with him evening after evening enabled me to take my stance on never letting him go. He once stated, "You can forget and let go, but I never do." Again, it is his grace that we remain connected to his unfathomable supreme self. Then began the actual journey as a soul having a human experience. Physically, I was crumbling, but spiritually, it seemed I was coming together. On moving to India in 88, I felt life had dealt me a losing hand. Asthma, hole in the heart, eczema, and an ailing marriage combined shattered me into pieces, and there was no fixing me. Every changing season transported me to the ICU, where steroid injections were administered to render me temporary relief. It was all so transient, and nothing seemed worth my while except for raising my daughters, whereby the struggle of emotional and physical health prevented me from offering my optimum as a mother. Compromises can be potentially healthy, but when life meets us halfway, compromises can be potentially healthy when life meets us halfway. But here I was alone with no one to handhold me, to reassure me that I was worthy of happiness and that life potentially does offer the greatest riches, from love to enduring friendships and more. I became a cynic, as my mind and body were afflicted with pain. Pain in life is inevitable, and suffering is optional. But in my case, I suffered immensely as I knew no better. When darkness pervades, the ability to light a candle is sometimes removed from the conscious mind. The candle was now lit and more. He lit it and illuminated my soul with hope, faith, and a life compliant with the moral and spiritual compass. Guruji cannot be described, but can and is experienced by each Sangat with their satsangs that bear a strong testimony of him being the supreme power himself, who descended the earth to lift us from our darkness and to illuminate every corner of our being with strength, wisdom, courage, beauty, and the wealth of knowledge needed to live our optimum lives. He cured me of my skin condition, asthma, and many more ailments. He first grants us health and then irons out other karmic creases like relationships, work, and finances. I am a practical guru, he would reiterate. We do not need to grip the anchors of rituals and rites. Superstitions are superseded with practically living an honest, confident, and simple life. His ideologies are easy to grasp from being humble, compassionate, and giving and following his teachings in letter and spirit. Practice makes progress, and attending satsangs refuels our spiritual engine to help maneuver us in the direction where he stands. Einstein had said, there are only two ways to live your life. One is as though nothing is a miracle, and the other is as though everything is a miracle. Excuse me. With Guruji in the heart of our lives, every moment is a miracle and beyond. The wonder of his, excuse me, one second. I'm in Dubai and it's very dry here. The wonder of his venerable presence in our lives makes us all wonder what life was before he had so graciously taken us into his sublime fold. Life was shallow and now deep. It was empty and now spilling over with his love and the love we feel for his creation. I now observe the world with a fresh perspective, loving every tree, mountain, and the skies, all his immaculately crafted landscapes. Gratitude is what fills me to be able to write this forward for this profoundly blessed Sangat, Aarti, whose devotion and love for Guruji knows no bounds and is blessed to be able to articulate her love for him in this wonderfully written book. May Guruji continue to inspire and all Sangha to spread his light so that darkness hiding in the remotest corners of our beings is also eradicated and therefore substituted with his resplendent presence. My humble urge is for each reader to feel Aarti's emotions in her words as it resonates with our own. We will see our own beauty and divinity in the pages of this book as it elevates us to realize our own selves. In the end, our master said, I have come to awaken the Guru within you. Jai Guruji, love and light. Thank you. Over to you, Aarti.
Thank you so much, Auntie. Every word that you say is music to our ears. And I also want to do a sound check. Am I audible? Because I'm outdoors in Shivpuri and it's pouring. So I don't want the sounds of the rain to interject.
Audible.
Okay, I am. Okay, awesome.
Perfect.
Thank you so much. Shukrana Guruji ka. All right. I am going to start my reading. And once again, thank you to this platform. Thank you, Suresh Uncle. Thank you, Anita Auntie. Thank you, Pooja, for the wonderful surprise. So this book, Tu Hi Tu, the name of this book was based on the fact that Guruji का एक वचन था कि पहले भी मैं, आज भी मैं और आगे भी में. So the most relevant name that came to my mind was Tu Hi Tu, because Guruji Angsang, Guruji is ever so omniscient, omnipotent, omnipresent. और मेरी अरदास है हम सब की तरफ से कि ऑफकोर्स जो पढ़ रहा है और सुनने वालों का भी गुरुजी के चरणों में हमारा चित्त लगे, so that through this forum where we all come together collectively, we can help each other fall in love with Guruji deeper and grow together spiritually on this journey with Guru Sahib. So with that, I will start the preface. Anita Aunty read the foreword beautifully. She authored that as well. And I'm ever so grateful for that. Jai Guruji, I am humbled before your divine presence, my Lord. You, the Supreme Lord, have bestowed upon my soul the taste of the elixir from your celestial realm. वाकई संगत जी, ये जो सत्संग का अमृत है, and that's why we call it the elixir. इससे खूबसूरत चीज, इससे खूबसूरत दान हमें मिल ही नहीं सकती. And I do want to share some pictures also which are in the book. So this is one of the pictures, and also this. Isn't he so beautiful? Shukrana is a small word, but it aptly captures my gratitude as I embark on this tribute to my beloved Guru Maharaj. This tribute, however, is boundless, transcending the confines of this lifetime. Aseem and Anant, a simple way to describe it. Now, in this book, I have put down my experiences with Guru Sahib, and like we all know, Sangat ji, कि success का अंत तो कभी हो ही नहीं सकता. So you know, this is no way I'm saying this is everything, because every moment, even as I'm reading, you know, it's a beautiful satsang in itself. एकांत में मैं यहाँ बैठी हूँ, New Jersey is facing a tropical storm, and I'm sharing these cherished moments with the fellow Sangha. So Shukrana, Shukrana, Shukrana is the way to go. Where do I even begin? Through this divine journey, I wish to offer the readers a glimpse of this magnificent world of spirituality condensed into these few pages. A world far beyond the realms of so-called logic and science. हम सब जानते हैं संगत जी, गुरु जी को लॉजिक और साइंस को फेल करने में बहुत मजा आता था, और गुरु जी कहते थे मेरी दुनिया में कोई इफ और बट नहीं, कोई किंतु और परंतु नहीं, ये सब चीजें वहां छोड़ के आओ जहां आप अपनी जुतियां लाकर आते हैं. So we have to keep this in mind, and we need to remind ourselves that गुरु जी के दरबार में कोई लॉजिक नहीं चलता, कोई साइंस की थ्योरीज नहीं चलती. अगर चलता है तो सिर्फ वो गुरु जी की डिविनिटी. It was a seemingly random evening in early 1999 when His Holiness allowed me to step into his darbar. Unaware of the profound impact that awaited me, I merely followed my parents' suggestion to join them. Little did I know that my Lord was rewriting the script of my destiny. ये सब भी हम सुन चुके हैं कि गुरुजी would say कि एक अच्छा पंडित आपको ये बता सकता है कि आपकी हाथों की लकीरें क्या कह रही, लेकिन सिर्फ एक सच्चा गुरु उन लकीरों को बदल सकता है. And that's what he does. So with that, I will start the first chapter, which is the entrance to Indralok. And here is another picture. I don't know how visible it is at Bada Mandir. Entrance to the Indralok. And I'll tell you why I called it the Indralok and not the Shivlok. It is a moment etched in my memory forever. My parents, Lieutenant General Chandra Kapur and Mrs. Sheel Kapur, had taken me to meet Guruji the night before my admission into the divine institute. The sight that greeted me was awe-inspiring. The radiant face of Guruji sitting on a regal red chair, surrounded by his devoted Sangat, his flowing robe added to his majestic presence exuding kindness like an emperor of compassion. So now, to describe it in simpler terms, हमारे गुरुजी बहुत सुंदर थे. उनका जो aura था, वो मैं शब्दों में describe नहीं कर सकती. And he was truly an unconventional guru. Because जो आपके मन में कल्पना होती है of a typical guru, Guruji was very different from that. The atmosphere was filled with positivity and melodious shabads in Punjabi language played in the background. Even though I couldn't fully comprehend their meaning, they were soothing to my soul. As we approached Guruji to bow down, to do Mattate, my parents introduced my sister Pooja and me to His Holiness. With a gracious gesture, Guruji invited us to sit closer to him, and in that moment, a divine connection was born. और संगत जी, ये मैं आपको बात बता रही हूँ Empire State Days की. I'm talking about early 90s. Intrigued by my surroundings, I began to observe the Sangha, Guruji's followers, around me. The atmosphere was serene, and people seemed at ease, sitting casually and relaxed. Somewhere in a meditative state, immersed in the devotional music of the Gurbani, Shabads, being played, others appeared to be attentively listening to the soulful verses, absorbing the divine wisdom they know. Now, here in this paragraph, I want to emphasize that Guruji ke time pe Gurbani chalti. Now, the difference between bhajans and Gurbani is something that was written by the Gurus themselves. And bhajans is what we feel about God. हम उसको लिखते हैं जो हमारी भावनाएं भगवान की तरफ, और गुरबानी और शब्द वो है जो गुरुओं ने लिखी. So there was a lot of emphasis on Gurbani, and Guruji was also very particular about which Gurbani, which Ragi. So those are just some of the things I'll keep sharing as they come to my mind. As a young and curious mind, I couldn't comprehend everything that was happening, but I felt a sense of calm and tranquility in the air. It was as if the worries and the burdens of the world had been temporarily lifted, and everyone present basking in the spiritual aura created by Guruji's pure presence and the sacred surroundings. As the sunset continued to pour in, Guruji warmly greeted each devotee with a radiant smile, acknowledging their presence, gesturing namaskar with folded hands as they paid their respects and did mathate, bowing their heads at his lotus. His interactions with the Sangat were filled with care, joy, and laughter, evident from the smiling faces of those who conversed with him. The atmosphere was brimming with positivity and a sense of belonging, as if we were all part of an extended spiritual family. So, Guruji के टाइम पे खास बात ये थी कि हमारे गुरुजी इतने humble थे कि literally जो कोई आता था, Guruji would personally greet them. वो अपने हाथों से ऐसे gesture करते थे, and he would usher them to sit. और कई बार वो पूछते थे कि किसके साथ आए हो, किदे नाल आए हो, किन्ने दस्या तुहानू मेरे बारे में. So sometimes he would exchange these little pleasantries as well. But the important point here is that imagine the sole creator of universe, Mahashiv, sitting amongst mere mortals like you and I, and actually acknowledging our presence. This is the beauty of our Mahashiv. After about 45 minutes, Guruji rang a bell, placed on the right side of his table, signaling a sevadar volunteer. Within moments, a tray filled with mithai, sweets prasad, was brought before him. With a graceful gesture, Guruji invited us to come forward and receive the prasad from his hand. There was no prescribed order or formality. We simply formed a line and followed the example set by the other Sangat. As I approached Guruji, I noticed that the prasad he was offering was abundant and overflowing, much more than my hands could hold. What he offered with one hand could not fit into both our hands. It was a beautiful metaphor of the abundance of love and blessings he bestowed upon his devotees without any limits or restrictions. Guruji की कृपा असीम, जैसे एक सूरज अपनी रोशनी बराबर सब पे डालता है, वैसे ही गुरु अपनी कृपा सब पे उड़ेलता है. And it's really up to us and maybe us and our karma and maybe even his kripa कि हम उसको कितना recognize कर सकते हैं, हम उसको कितना receive कर सकते हैं, और अगर हमने receive की है तो हम उसको किस extent तक retain कर सकते हैं. In those moments of receiving prasad from Guruji's hands, I felt an indescribable connection, a sense of divine grace embracing my soul. There were no lectures or formal teaching. The experience itself was enough to ignite a profound spiritual awakening with a little spark within me, which became insatiable. It was as if Guruji's love, wisdom, and blessing were transmitted directly through the simple act of sharing prasad. Now, like I said, Sangat ji, Guruji जो अपने एक हाथ से देते थे, हमारे दोनों हाथों में समाता था, और आप उस प्रसाद की divinity, आप उस प्रसाद की महिमा को समझे, जो खुद गुरुजी अपने हाथों से मसल के blessings डालकर एक संगत के member को अपने हाथ से देते. In Guruji's darbar, there were no rigid rules or rituals. It was an environment of pure love, devotion, and surrender. The energy was contagious, and everyone present became part of a harmonious symphony of faith and spirituality, flowing together with the divine current that Guruji embodied. As I left the darbar that day, I carried with me a deep sense of peace and contentment, knowing that my soul had encountered something extraordinary, something that would forever change the course of my life. From that moment onward, Guruji became not just a spiritual guide, but the very essence of my existence, guiding me through the journey of life with boundless love and grace. Now we say कि गुरुजी के दरबार में कोई coincidence नहीं होता. गुरुजी वक्त और घड़ी मुकर्रर करते हैं कि वो किस सोल को किसके जरिए किस रीजन से अपने दरबार में बुलाएंगे. लेकिन एक बार आपको गुरुजी के दर का बुलावा आ गया तो संगत जी अपने आप को बेअंत खुशकिस्मत समझिए, क्योंकि imagine amongst the billions of people in this world, he's literally handpicked our soul to make us part of his Shiv Parivar. Is this a big blessing or what? Indeed, the experience of Guruji's Darbar was beyond the realm of logic and science. The abundance of prasad and the continued flow of blessings were a testament to Guruji's divine grace and power. When the second round of prasad arrived, Guruji gestured for us to come forward once again. Despite feeling a little full, I eagerly followed his call, knowing that his prasad held a special significance. अच्छा, now back in the days, वहाँ पर कोई गुरुजी ऐसे भाषण या कोई डिस्कोर्स नहीं होता था, तो आप जो भी सीखते थे ना, वो एक दूसरे को देखकर सीखते थे. तो अगर वहाँ किसी ने कहा कि प्रसाद खत्म करना है, बिकॉज ये आपके लिए दवाई है, इसको मिठाई समझ के मत खाओ, तो तुरंत that sank in that if Guruji is giving you something, there is a reason. And अगर पेट काफी गुरुजी काफी खिलाते थे और खुला खिलाते थे अपनी संगत, चाय भी, प्रसाद भी, लंगर भी, लेकिन somehow गुरुजी की presence में सब खाया जाता था back in the days. And there was never a discussion about कि मिर्ची है या तेल है या मीठा ज्यादा है. उस टाइम ऐसा डिसिप्लिन होता था, and maybe that was due to the sheer presence. कि गुरुजी बैठे हैं तो डिसिप्लिन तो ऑटोमेटिकली became an innate part of our nature. And that's how it was कि गुरुजी ऐसे इशारा करते थे और लाइन लग जाती थी और मजा आता था दोबारा वो प्रसाद लेने. As we hesitated about taking some prasad back home, we sought clarification from someone in the Sangha. Idhar dawai, har par mithai. Meaning, they explained that when we eat prasad in Guruji's presence, it becomes blessed and carries healing properties for the individual. However, if we were to take it back home, it would lose that special essence and become like every other mithai. The only exception to this was if Guruji specifically gave prasad with the direction to take it back. Kabhi kabhi Guruji har ke liye bhi कैंडीज या मिठाई भेजते थे, वो बात फर्क है। लेकिन अगर आपको गुरुजी कुछ अपने हाथों से वहां दे रहे हो, तो दैट इज मेंट टू बी कंज्यूम्ड राइट देयर इन फ्रंट ऑफ यू. Though it might have sounded strange, I have witnessed firsthand the miraculous impact of Guruji's prasad on my mother's health. Despite being a diabetic, she had consumed a generous amount of prasad at the darbar the previous night, only to find her sugar levels normal the next day. It was a clear indication of Guruji's divine power and the potency of his blessing. This was just the beginning of the incredible journey of divine experiences and miracles that unfolded in Guruji's presence. Each interaction, each blessing, and each moment spent in his darbar revealed the boundless love, compassion, and the healing that Guruji showered upon his devotees. His divinity knew no bounds, and he transcended the limitations of the material world, guiding us on a spiritual path that was beyond comprehension. संगत जी, आज भी अगर कोई कहे कि भाई हमें गुरुजी का पूरा समझ आ गया है या हम गुरुजी पे एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, तो आई थिंक that view is very flawed. क्योंकि गुरुजी को आज तक समझ पाना बहुत 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 मुश्किल है. And my father used to give this analogy of a tip of an iceberg. कि आपको जो दिख रहा है वो खाली टिप है, वो आइसबर्ग अंदर कितना गहरा है और कितना बड़ा है, उसका हम अंदाजा, we cannot even fathom the depth. And that is the only way we can describe Guruji, कि तेरा अंत किसे नहीं पाया. In Guruji's presence, the laws of nature seemed to bend, and the ordinary became extraordinary. He was not bound by conventional norms or explanations. Instead, he operated on a plane of divine wisdom and grace. It was a world where faith and surrender were the keys to unlocking the mysteries of the universe. Through these awe-inspiring experiences, my understanding of spirituality expanded and my connection with Guruji deepened. I came to realize that he was not just a physical being in beautiful robes, but an eternal presence and omnipotent force that resided within the hearts of his devotees. Guruji's blessings were not limited by time or space. They transcended all barriers, reaching out to us whenever we needed guidance, strength, or solace. The magic of Guruji's love and grace continued to unfold, enriching every aspect of my life and drawing me closer to the divine realm he embodied. In his darbar, miracles were an everyday occurrence, and I was blessed to be a witness to the miraculous unfolding of his divine play. And this chapter, I started with my first, experience with Guruji. But prior to that, one night before, when my parents had gone to Guruji, we had not accompanied our parents. I still remember that Guruji ne hamari toffee घर पे दी थी, and he sent a message through my parents कि अगले दिन अपनी बेटियों को भी लेकर आना, and that's how I found myself at his lotus feet. And I'm ever so grateful. I am ever so grateful, because through the darkest of my times, I hold on to the fact that Guruji got my back. So these are the vessels, my parents who took us to Guru Sahib. We always say कि जो आपको गुरुजी के दर पे लेकर जाता है, उस सोल का भी बहुत बहुत शुक्राना. So shukrana to both Mama and Papa for taking me to my Guru's feet. I'll move on to the next chapter, chapter 2, and the journey continues. Having tasted the elixir of Guruji's darbar, we found ourselves irresistibly drawn back for more. Days turned into weeks, then months, and the magnetic force of his presence only grew stronger. No matter how exhausted we were after college or how tired my father was after a long day at work, the yearning to be in Guruji's divine presence was unceasing. This is true, Sangat ji. एक ऐसी hitch होती थी कि रोज ऐसे लगता था कि कुछ भी हो लाइफ में, रोज गुरुजी के पास बस जाना ही जाना है. मे बी वो उनका बुलावा था, मे बी वो हमारी खुशकिस्मती थी कि हमें वो खिंच गुरुजी ने पैदा कराई. Upon entering the satsang, a remarkable transformation would occur. The weight of fatigue and stress seemed to melt, and a serene calm enveloped us. In that sacred space, worries and anxieties had no power. They simply couldn't touch us. The time spent in satsang was a blissful immersion in pure divinity. It was only upon leaving the darbar that we would gradually return to the realities of the life. This is true, Sangat ji, कि जब आप गुरुजी के पास बैठे होते थे ना, तो ना पिछला ना कुछ अगला किसी चीज की ऐसे लगता था, कोई फिक्र ही नहीं है. There is nothing that can touch us, and we are in that comforting bubble, and we never wanted to leave that space. वो तो आप जब गुरुजी से छुट्टी लेकर वापस निकलते थे, तो ऐसे लगता था कि now you are in touch with reality again. Yet the profound impact of the satsang would linger within us, like an eternal flame that illuminated our souls. Each visit became a cherished memory, and the longing to be in Guruji's presence remained an ever-present thread in the tapestry of our lives. As a curious teenager with a penchant for questioning the status quo, I was filled with numerous inquiries about the practices in Guruji's darbar. One of the puzzling aspects for me was why people would lovingly press Guruji's hands and feet. Now, I told you that in the first chapter, there is a reason why I wrote Indralok. Because when I first walked into Guruji's darbar, I still remember he was wearing this beautiful pink robe. And, there was an auntie who was pressing his hands. There was another auntie who was pressing his feet. और एक आंटी थी जो पीछे कुर्सी के पीछे से हमको कंधा दबा रही थी. So as I'm walking down the aisle to see Guruji, my first impression was कि अरे हम तो इंद्रलोक में आ गए and आसपास सारी अप्सराएं हैं जो सेवा कर रही. And that's why I connected that to Indralok itself. And this was a question in my mind, why are people pressing his hands and feet? And kaise, like a true guru, like a true antaryami, he answers everything. Kyunki bin bolya sab kuch janda, that is a sign of a God, and he is God, right? So then another question was the significance of sharing satsang. As some experiences seem too personal to be shared publicly, these doubts linger in my mind, but as the time went on, I began to understand the profound meaning behind these practices. Praising the Lord not only helps others connect, but it helps us to expiate our own karmic debt. So, Sankaji, anything that happened in Guruji's darbar happened for a reason, because our Guru was a very practical Guru. So, जो भी उन्होंने practices, जो norms, जो प्रथाएं शुरू करी, उसके पीछे बहुत ही गूढ़ रहस्य एक meaning होता था, and that's why we should hold on to those practices and traditions and not lose it as we start to see new things and new practices. Keep it simple. Guruji ने एक path को हमारे लिए pave किया है. All we have to do is follow that path. We don't need to reinvent the wheel at all. In the presence of Guruji, I observed a diverse congregation, including technocrats, bureaucrats, politicians, top defense brass, and high-profile doctors, amongst others. Initially, I wondered why there were fewer representations from the underprivileged sections of the society. However, as I delved deeper into the essence of Guruji's teaching, I realized that he is beyond the boundaries of social distinctions. In his darbar, all are one. गुरुजी के दरबार में सब बराबर हैं, और यही एक रीजन था कि गुरुजी एक थाली में 4 लोगों को खिलाते थे, और यूजुअली वो 4 लोग एक फैमिली के नहीं होते थे. आपकी जिसके साथ बारी आ जाए, आप उसके साथ लंगर बांट के खाओगे. And this was a sign, this was the way of Guruji telling us in the most practical terms कि मेरे लिए मेरी सारी संगत बराबर. Guruji's darbar attracts people from all walks of life. His love knows no discrimination. He is the universal Lord, embracing every soul with the same compassion. The individuals sitting at his feet, regardless of their social status, are drawn by this inexplicable force towards the divine. It became evident that these powerful and influential individuals sought something beyond just the worldly being, a spiritual transformation, solace, and inner peace that transcended material desires, things that influence or money could not buy. अब ये सोचने की बात है संदीप जी that we would see the creme de la creme of Delhi, very important, very busy people, अपने सूट बूट में आकर शाम को चौकड़ी मार के गुरुजी के चरण में बैठे. तो सोचने की बात है that people of that profile, obviously they're getting something from that place. तभी वो अपना वक्त निकालकर गुरुजी के चरणों में बैठने आ रहे हैं. And that was a very telling scenario that people from all walks of life are coming into the darbar. But another thought that plagued my mind was कि ये सारे बड़े influential लोग हैं और पर सारे जो less privileged हैं, वो not as privileged as these people, वो संगत कहाँ पर है और वो भी कैसे गुरुजी ने नजारा दिखाया, कैसे गुरुजी like I said, आपके मन की बात सुनते हैं और right time पे आपको उसका जवाब देते हैं. Over time, I began to cherish moments more, and even today, I find solace in revisiting those memories in my mind. The mere thought of Guruji's darbar becomes an instant pick-me-up, filling my heart with joy and tranquility. Now, this statement is so true, Sangatji, and I'm speaking about myself, that मुझे इतनी खुशी, इतना सुकून, इतना passion, किसी और चीज में मेरे को इतना interest नहीं है, not my professional life, not the chores that I have to do at home. What really sparks my soul is just doing my Guru's stuff. So thank you, Guruji, for giving me this seva, and I hope I do this till my last breath. As my understanding deepened, I realized that the true essence of Guruji's teachings lies in selflessness, compassion, and universal love, a treasure that is accessible to all who seek it with sincerity and devotion. The essence of satsang is beautifully captured in the saying, "Jo satsang kare, uska bhi kalyan, aur jo satsang sune, uska bhi kalyan." This profound truth emphasizes that engaging in satsang, the act of sharing and listening to spiritual experiences, brings blessing and well-being to both the speaker and the listener. It is a divine exchange of energy that enriches the heart and mind of all involved. Guruji's analogy of being flowing matlab behti Ganga, which is a holy river in India, represents his boundless love and compassion, which are available to all, like the sacred waters of the holy river. He encourages us to share the knowledge present to as many people as possible, so that they too may benefit from his divine grace. Indeed, Guruji does not require any form of marketing, for he is the embodiment of consciousness, the ultimate divine consciousness. He took human form to bless his Sangat, guiding us towards liberation from the cycle of birth and death. As a complete Guru, he holds the keys to unlocking the spiritual potential within us, leading us to freedom and ultimate fulfillment. Guruji would often say, Sangat ji, कि मैं तुम्हें इस भव सागर से पार लगवाने आया. तो ये भव सागर क्या है? ये भव सागर ये इस दुनिया की रियलिटी, मोह, माया, रोग, अहंकार, हम सब इस भव सागर में ऐसे डूबे हुए हैं और इन 5 चोरों से हम सब पीड़ित हैं. And Guruji has come into our life to actually elevate our soul and remove us from this plane and prep us to take the onward journey. इसके बारे में बहुत आसानी से भूल जाते हैं. हमें लगता है कि जो है वो सब कुछ यही है और हम यहाँ परमानेंटली आए हैं, लेकिन नहीं. एंड गुरुजी ने कैसे हर चीज प्रैक्टिकली सामने हमें करके दिखाई. अगर महाशिव अपना खुद जन्म लेकर अपना चोला त्याग सकते हैं, करोड़ों लोगों को जीवन देने वाले अपना खुद चोला त्याग सकते हैं, तो वो हमें क्या सीख देना चाह रहे हैं? So understanding the true intent of satsang, I realized that it serves to spread awareness, not just for the benefit of the speaker, but for the collective good of all beings. And this is the reason why we've all come here together, so that we can read about Guruji once again, remind ourselves, reinforce certain messages, so that we help not just ourselves, but everyone around us. By praising a true Guru and sharing his teaching, we purify our karma and uplift ourselves spiritually. It is a selfless act of devotion, a way to express gratitude for the profound transformation that Guruji brings into our life. In the divine presence of Guruji, satsang becomes a sacred communion, an opportunity to dive deep into the ocean of wisdom and love. It is a timeless journey of spiritual growth and realization, where the bonds of ego and separateness dissolve, and we become one with the cosmic consciousness. Through the satsang, we align ourselves with the eternal truth, experiencing the bliss of divine oneness. The healing power of Guruji's touch is truly miraculous. People would press Guruji's hand and feet, and in return, they experience relief from their ailments. तो गुरुजी जो अपने आप को दबाते थे, वो खुद के लिए नहीं करते थे, वो उस संगत का कल्याण बख्शने के लिए गुरुजी आपको सेवा ये मौका देते थे कि आप उनको दबाओ जिससे आपके कष्ट मिटे. I vividly recall an auntie who was suffering from leg pain. When Guruji graciously allowed her to press his leg, he experienced relief from her pain. These experiences are a testament to the divine energies that flows through Guruji and how his presence can alleviate physical and emotional suffering. इसमें मुझे एक और सत्संग याद आ रहा है कि जब गुरुजी ने मेरी मम्मा को घुटने को बोला, तो मम्मा से चौकड़ी मारती थी, आसानी से बैठा नहीं जाता था, उनको घुटने में काफी दर्द रहती थी. तो घुटते टाइम गुरुजी ने अपना पाँव उनके घुटने पे रखा, एंड संगत जी उस दिन के बाद उस घुटने में कभी दर्द नहीं थी. ना हाउ डू यू साइंटिफिकली एक्सप्लेन दिस कि कोई दवाई नहीं, आपने कुछ नहीं किया, merely by that touch कि गुरुजी ने अपना पाँव रखा उस घुटने पे और वो दर्द का है. So it proves the point that his presence can actually alleviate physical as well as emotional suffering. Visiting Guruji's birthplace, Dugri Dam, in the Malerkotla district of Punjab was a heavenly experience. It was an opportunity to witness a different facet of Guruji's Sangat, which was distinct from what I had seen in Delhi. In Punjab, I encountered devotees with profound love and devotion who were deeply connected to Guruji. Their expression of love and dedication was heartwarming, and I witnessed Guruji showering them with boundless affection. So like I said, पहले मैंने अपनी reading में बोला था कि वो सोच that where is the other facet of Guruji's Sangat. I got to see a completely different side of the Sangat when I went to Dugri with Guruji, and I got my answer कि Guruji सबके, और जो गुरुजी के पास नहीं आ सकता, गुरुजी finds a way to reach out to them. Guruji's compassion knows no bounds. He would often say that if people are needy and unable to reach him, he finds a way to reach them. This exemplifies Guruji's selflessness and his commitment to helping those in need. आप ये सोचिए संगत जी के कितना प्यार करते हैं गुरुजी अपनी संगत से, और हमें भी अपने रोम रोम में अपने गुरु के प्रति वो इश्क को पैदा करना है, वो जिसके अंदर उत्तेजित करना है, that we, every cell of our body is in love with Guruji and thinks about Guruji at all times. And something else comes to mind, which I learned very recently myself, that there's a difference between jap and simran. हम कहते हैं जाप वो होता है जो हम करते हैं, सिमरन वो होता है जो हमसे हो जाता है, ऑटोमेटिकली हमारे दिल के अंदर सिमरन चलता है, और हमें अपने मन को उस अवस्था पे लेकर आना है कि हम गुरु का सिमरन करें. This exemplifies Guruji's selflessness and his commitment to helping those in need. He does not restrict his divine grace to a select few, but showers it upon all those who seek his blessings with a sincere heart. That visit to Dugri Gaon was truly an eye-opener, revealing the vastness and inclusivity of Guruji's love. It served as a reminder that his divine presence is accessible to all, regardless of their background, economic strata, or circumstances. The memories of that visit remain etched in my heart. And whenever I close my eyes and think about those times, I am filled with joy and peace. It becomes a constant lift me up, rejuvenating my spirit and reminding me of the profound love and grace of Guruji. So a few more pictures. And with this, I've completed 2 chapters. What I do want to say as we wrap up this session, that I really enjoyed reliving these moments. In fact, as I was reading this book word for word, it transported me back to those times. And I was able to focus on just being present and sharing his glory. And I hope as listeners, you guys were also able to focus your kids on Guruji's charan. So once again, grateful for the seva. Thank you, Suresh Uncle. Thank you, Anita Aunty. Thank you to all the listeners. Koi bhool chook ho gayi ho sangat ji, to main क्षमा प्रार्थी हूँ. I look forward to coming back again next week at the same time and reading the next couple chapters as we go forward on this journey together. Shukrana Guruji, Jai Guruji. Om Namah Shivaya, Shivji Sada Sahai. Om Namah Shivaya, Guruji Sada Sahai.
Shukrana to our ever gracious, loving Guruji Maharaj. Thank you so much, Anita Aunty, for a wonderfully read forward. Aarti, what a blissful reading. And truly this satsang sharing transports us back to those days. It's truly a trip down memory lane. Thank you so much for this beautiful experience. And may we all continue to spread Guruji's love and light. Jai Guruji, Jai Guruji, Jai Guruji. Shukrana Guruji. Over to you, Suresh Uncle.
जय गुरुजी महाराज. I'll again say जय गुरुजी महाराज. I'll again say जय गुरुजी महाराज. आरती आंटी, जब से मैंने कपूर अंकल के सत्संग सुने थे और जब उन्होंने जय गुरुजी महाराज का जो ये स्लोगन, मैं स्लोगन ही कहूँगा, जो सुना था, बहुत अच्छा लगा. और वही संस्कार आप में हैं. आपकी ब्लिसफुल डिवाइन संगत शेयरिंग है हुई है आज. आपकी रीडिंग बहुत अच्छे तरीके से हुई है. मैं तनुज कपूर आंटी जी से रिक्वेस्ट करूंगा, प्लीज अनम्यूट योरसेल्फ. तनुज आंटी.
जय गुरु जी अंकल जी. जैसे आप और सभी बाकी संगत is mesmerized, and like Aarti said, that transported back to those beautiful, wonderful times spent with Guruji, his loving presence, his grace. So I think every time someone shares a satsang, or they pour out their heart into words and write their thanks and gratitude to Guruji as a tribute, I think we all relive those moments. And the Sangat who didn't get the opportunity to meet Guru Maharaj in the human avatar, I think they too are blessed and get absorbed in the love that pours out from the Sangat sharing. So I think I'll just thank Aarti Aunty immensely for, like you said, that once again reliving time spent with Guruji, thanking him for his blessings, because I think I wish more people would pen down their blessings so that it doesn't only remain as YouTube videos. They should come in print and in writing, in books, because those are for keeps. Memories for keeps, blessings for years, blessings always, like Guru Maharaj said. And I think this is the way to preserve his blessings and take his divinity forward, his guidance forward. So many thanks, Aarti Aunty, and Shukrana, Uncle Ji, for asking me to just say a few words. Jai Guruji Maharaj.